Provocative podcast. All right, if you're watching from YouTube, as you guys can see, there's a whole different setup. So I have not announced it anywhere. So if you're listening to the podcast, you are the first to know. We have moved. We have moved all the way to Mexico. No, I'm just kidding, guys. We have moved, but we have moved more towards the city here in Houston. It has been a different transition, a great transition. We are so happy in this new place and in this new chapter of our lives. Let's go back a little bit. We decided, Chris and I, when I say we, Chris and I, decided we wanted to sell our house back in, I want to say, October-ish. And that's when we were like, you know what? I think 2024, we want to start somewhere fresh. And it was weird because we were both thinking about moving, but none of us, we didn't talk about it for a while. And we only found out, I think it was one day we were driving in the car and we both looked at each other and I was like, hey. And he was like, hey. And I was like, what do you think about, he's like, are you going to say what I think you're going to say? And I'm like, I don't know. Are you thinking about moving? And he was like, yeah, I've been thinking about it. I just know you love the house so much. And I'm like, yeah, but I've been really thinking about moving too. And I love the house, but I was like, I really am needing a change, a faster pace. And guys, we were so blessed to have our home be our first home. If you guys have been following my journey for a minute now, you guys know that we built it during COVID. It was really exciting. We went through a lot of hard times during that time. And, it was a difficult process and everything. So we were really, really grateful that we got that house when we did and that was our first home. And it's beautiful and modern and everything we hoped and dreamed of. But as a homeowner, you realize it's a little bit more slower paced, right? It's a lot of space for just two people. I got the home thinking I was gonna have family all the time over and friends over, and we do have friends over all the time, but family over, spending the night and stuff, and we didn't. And thankfully we had the podcast room in there and stuff, but I don't know, it was just one of those things where that house just felt like it was too big and I wanted a change. I was like, we live in the suburbs. It's very slow. My biggest reasoning for moving, I wanted the city life a little bit more. I wanted not to be straight downtown, but I wanted more of the city. I wanted to be able to go to all the different places that I go to and not drive 45 minutes away. That's without traffic. And I got tired of all my appointments being in the city. All our dinners are in the city. And there'd be weekends where we wouldn't do anything because we didn't really want to drive 40 minutes and then have to drive back another 40 minutes after dinner. So I was like, you know what? 2024 is a year where I really want to level up into this boss ass woman. And I just feel like being here at home is making me feel sluggish and slow. And so that was my reasoning. And I told him, I love the house, but I really want to change. And he was like, you know what? I do too. And I just think it would be the best time right now to sell a house. We have good equity in the house. And I was like, let's do it. Thankfully we didn't build a pool, so we didn't invest all this money into the house. Besides, a few accent walls, things like that we've added in the closet and things like that. We didn't invest pools and big major 40, 50 grand purchases into the home, which I'm really happy about. So yeah, we decided to sell our home and it's in the market. It's been doing really, really good. It's only been in the market for a couple of weeks now, nothing crazy. And we moved towards the city. I'm not going to exactly say where because I do feel like it's a little weird to say exactly where I live. But towards the city, I love it. I can run anytime I want here. The dogs love it. It's just a whole different lifestyle. We did end up deciding to go with a penthouse, so we will be penthouse living. And I'm really excited because one of the biggest things that I didn't want to give up were the windows and the space. I didn't want to be in a big space, but I didn't want to give up too much space. And the penthouse we have is beautiful. It's a 2-bedroom. I'll do a whole tour, 2-bathroom. My closet here is bigger than my closet at my house, and an office space, which the office space is just Chris's right now. My office space will be transitioning into our new warehouse that we'll be getting soon. And so we have a kitchen. The living room is still really spacious. All our furniture fits right in. The only thing we sold a few things, and then big things that we sold were the couch. We've had the couch for a while, and I want something different, so it comes in tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, guys, it's been only 2 weeks since we've been living here, and it's been great. I love it. It still doesn't feel like home just yet, but I know it will be once, we get the couch and everything starts to fall in a little bit more in place. But I have dedicated the last 2 weeks to trying to set everything up as much as I can. You guys know that I'm a Virgo perfectionist, so I want to have everything looking like I live here already. For the most part, it does. We're missing a few pieces, a few art pieces and things like that we'll add. I want to make sure I don't rush into getting things and just get things when I feel like it talks to me or speaks to me and matches the vibe of the place. Still very modern, very neutral, a little bit more on the woody side too. I'm incorporating a lot of more woody gray brown textures, not really gray, but more of a gray brown textures into the home. I don't want to just make it black and white anymore. I want a little bit more life into it. So that's kind of the vibe that I'm going for with this new place. But I love it. We have a full-size balcony. It oversees the city. It's just incredible here, and I'm just really excited for this new chapter. I haven't shared it anywhere because I was a little bit hesitant. I wanted to make sure I did everything properly. I'm just I overthink things, guys, sometimes, because as you guys know, but I just didn't want to be like, hey guys, I moved, and then get a ton of bombarding questions like, why, where's the house, blah, blah, blah. And so, we're living here, and you guys are the first to know, and it's an incredible journey. I'm excited for a faster paced lifestyle, which I will say it's already felt faster. And yeah, it's good, right? I'm really excited for this new chapter and bringing in the new year in a new place. And, in the future, we will worry about homes, and I did want to talk about a little bit about my struggles during this process, because I feel like some of us deal with this, especially as coming from a Latino culture. You guys we're told from young age, you need to buy a house, don't rent, you're wasting your money. And a lot of people do believe that, right? A lot of people do believe that you're wasting your money. But in my situation, guys, because even now our parents were like, why are you selling? That's your home. Now you're going to rent. You're going to be throwing your money away. I don't look at it that way. For a long time I did, and that fear of renting and not making it my home, I lived a lot of life just unhappy, because I was like, well, it's not my home. I'm renting, so I shouldn't invest in it. And it's if you're going to be living in a space, you want to make it your home, right? Regardless if you're renting or you own the place. And I don't think of it as me wasting my money. I'm living an experience that I've always wanted to live, which is a high rise and towards the city. 2, I know I'll make that money back. I have no fear in my I don't fear that I can't make any money. I'm going to continuously make money. And so, yes, that money is being quote unquote given away and not coming back into my pocket. But so is when you buy a car, it loses equity. Everything loses equity sometimes. With homes, yes, you build equity. But for me, I just look at it as, yes, it may not be an investment within monetary, but it's an investment with my time. I'm investing a life here. I'm investing my time here. I want to be happy, and this is going to bring me happiness. So whatever brings you happiness, do it. I know everyone has their own way of thinking when it comes to renting and owning and not just throwing your money away, but it's the way that you view it, right? So as long as you view it as an investment for you and for the life that you want to live, that's what matters. I still, like I said, have our families calling up, are you guys sure that's what you want to do? And then you guys are giving up your home, but someday you'll get another home. And I'm like, why are you guys looking at this as we downgraded? Because we didn't downgrade. I'm we upgraded our lifestyle. We upgraded our living. I feel like it's an upgrade. Just because I don't own a home doesn't mean. My mom was like, oh, para que hagas tu hogar, which I'm like, I asked her yesterday, I was like, what does that even mean? I'm like, Mom, I have my home. I have my life. Like, this is what I want. Like, I have a life with Chris. I have my 2 pups, which I'm so happy. Like, I'm so blessed to have the life that I have. Just because I don't own a home, or just because I don't have children, doesn't, like, own a house, not even a home, doesn't mean I don't have a home. A home is where you make it, and this is my home. So I just want to say, regardless of what other people say, or, opinions, it's what you want to look at it. It's the way that you want to look at it. If you want to look at it as it's an investment for you, then it's an investment for you. If you're living in an apartment right now and you don't know how long you're going to be there, and that's why you're not quote unquote decorating, if you're happy coming home every day to that apartment, then that's great. But if you're not, who gives a crap about you decorating? So what? You're going to invest some of that money and waste it, and you're like, well, what if I don't reuse the decoration? Buy good shit that you can move. That's why with the house, I wanted to make sure that every piece that I got, I loved. It was universal, and I was going to keep. I could have kept the couch, but I wanted something new. But everything else we've kept. Our bedroom furniture we kept. Our, what is this called, baby? Coffee table, our shelves, all our chairs, all my expensive chairs from restoration, everything we've kept. That's why it's important to invest in good shit, so that you can, when you move and you do decide to get your home, you can take that with you, versus buying, I don't know, a $30, $40 shelf that's just gonna last you maybe a few months and chip, and then you have to buy a new one. For me, it's all about looking at it as an investment. So I think it's important to love the place that you live in, to love your home, to not get home from work and hate the way that you live in and constantly nitpick. Create something, make something your own. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that aspect. And another aspect, and I know some of you guys will resonate with this, is I started questioning my decision when I started comparing my decision to social media, and, seeing everyone, especially right now with their holidays, decorating their homes for Christmas and everything, it made me feel some type of way, like almost like I was questioning my decision. Like, should I not sell the house? But not because I didn't want to, but because social media and everyone else was affecting my decision. I was like, okay, like everyone has a home. Should I just like stick with my home because everyone has a home, and like that's everyone's dream? And like, oh my God, I have a beautiful home. I'm giving that up to move to a penthouse, and I'm going to give up some space, and I don't have a quote unquote house anymore. Like, is that okay? Is that smart? I started questioning the things that I wanted to do because I started comparing it to everyone else on social media. And I'm telling you, we've talked about it before, comparison is the thief of joy. As soon as you start comparing your life and what you have and don't have compared to what other people have and don't have, you will be unhappy. And I just started feeling like, I was like, oh my God, it was stressing me out. Like, oh my God, I shouldn't sell the house. Like, look at so-and-so, they have their house, and like people like want this house. And it's like, okay, yeah, other people may want that home. Other people are stable in their home. They have their families, they're happy, they have their kids, but that's not what you want right now. And you can't live a life based on what everyone else is doing or what everyone else is gonna think versus what you want. And so as soon as I stopped like thinking about it that way and stop going on social media and comparing what I was getting and what I was trading for what other people were having, I started being like more confident in my decision. Because it's easy to get caught up in that, guys. It's easy to look at someone else and be like, well, you know what? They have a home and I don't, like they're better than I am. And that's not true. That's not, just because someone else has something better than you or designer or whatever it is doesn't mean, or a better car, doesn't mean that they're better than you. Yeah, they may have a different form of living, but that doesn't mean that it takes away from what you have. Be grateful for what you have. Create the life that you want with what you have. I was literally going through this the other day and I was like, oh, I can't make videos because I don't have the lighting and the lighting's not right. And I was like, what advice do I give other girls who give me this bullshit excuse? I'm like, I tell them to do it. Do create with what they have. So why am I not creating with what I have? Why am I trying to wait till everything is perfect, the lighting is perfect, in order to create content, in order to make things that I want to make? No, fuck that. Do with what I have, and if I don't have it, get it quick so that I can start creating the things that I want. It's easy to fall into this victim mentality and like, oh, I don't have what she has, so I can't do what she does. But that's not true. There's so many people that have less than us that are still fucking killing it out there, that are still doing great things with less than what we have. So it's important for us to really stop self-doubting ourselves and stop questioning ourselves and stop comparing ourselves to what everyone else is doing and how everyone else is doing better things, and just start fucking doing shit for ourselves. And I like had to have like a little self-talk with myself, which I'm really, really proud of catching those things. I didn't really even talk about it with anyone. Usually like I'll have to like talk it through with Chris or talk it through with one of my friends. But this time I was like, you know, kind of guiding myself through this process and what I was feeling, and like actually like, okay, does this move feel right or wrong because it feels wrong, or does this move feel wrong because I'm comparing it with everyone else and I'm wanting a life that everyone else wants? And as soon as I like let everything go and started thinking about what I want, I realized like, this is what I want. This is what feels right. And I'm so happy because it has felt right. I will say that doesn't mean that I don't get anxious and I haven't had panic attacks and I haven't had like fucking hyperventilating moments, because I have. This is a big change for anyone, right? I mean, it was a big change for our pups. Our pups had diarrhea for like 3 days, both of them. So because poor babies were so anxious and they're like, what is this place? When are we going back home, right? But it has been an anxious move because we don't know, you know, like we don't know what to expect. We hope that everything turns out the way that we want it. We hope and pray that it is the best move and the smartest move. But at the end of the day, no one can guarantee that for us. We can just make that happen for us. So that's what I'm doing, you know, but that doesn't mean that I don't have moments of self-doubt. That doesn't mean that I don't have anxiety attacks and I'm not worried, because there is a little bit of worry behind everything. But I try to let fear go. I try to let shit that I can't control go for the most part and focus on what I can control. So now I'm focusing on, I created a good environment now. I'm focusing on creating the content that I want to create. I was sick for a whole week last week. Our first week here, we were sick. So we did not do anything. Thankfully, I like organized the apartment as best I could with the little like short burst of energy that I had, but I didn't create any content because I look like complete doo-doo. I didn't even feel like getting ready. But this week I was like, okay, it's back to the grind, back to waking up at 7:30, back to like getting into our routine. And it's been challenging. It's been day 3. I'm not gonna say you can easily go back into your routine. It takes a while. It takes a while now with this new place to get into like, okay, a groove, but I know it'll happen, but you have to start, right? So this week I was like, let's get back on it. Let's wake up at 7:30, get back on our water game, get back on our fitness, get back on eating right, because Chris and I have not been eating the best as possible, and just to overall focus on our health, because that's really, really fucking important. We underestimate our health. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about the transition that I made, because, you know, as an outsider, people might think, oh, it's easy for her, she doesn't have any struggles, but I have fear. I go through struggles just like everyone. I overthink things just like everyone, but it's how you navigate the situations and the way that your outlook on things, right? The energy that you put into things. I'm 100% positive with all these experiences that are coming my way, with the new apartment, with the new warehouse. Like, nothing in my heart is or in my head is thinking we're not going to make it, or things are going to be bad, or, oh my God, I'm stressed about money, or I'm stressed about this. Like, no, like, even though, yes, those thoughts come in my head, there are moments of worry, right? I'm not thinking about those things. I'm thinking about the positive things and the things that I can control, on making more money, doing the things that I need to do in order to be successful. It's so easy to be negative, and it's so easy to, when you talk to people, for others to be negative, and the people that love you to worry about you. I know I have a lot of my family that worries, and, you know, they have these questions, and sometimes, you know, if I listen to her, I give in to their concerns, right? I start freaking out. So I try not to. I try to make sure I calm them down and say, you know what, like, we got this. We know what we're doing. Like, I appreciate your concern, but we're going to be okay. And I try to change their outlook on things. I try to make sure that they're seeing the positive in their lives, or when they're having concerns about whatever's going on in their life, I try to talk them through. And not everyone's going to be understanding. Not everyone's going to change the way they viewpoint life, right? There's people that are just going to be a little bit more negative. My mom being one of those people. It's just the way she is. She's a worrier. She always finds like the worst in things instead of the best in things. And so sometimes I have to be her reassurance, and sometimes I have to reassure her, like, things are going to be good, but you have to want them to be good. And so, just dealing with everyone else's negativity, everyone else's things that they're doing, and the comparison can really get you down. But I want you to focus on yourself. I really want you to focus on what it is that you need to accomplish in order to get ahead, especially right now with the holidays, guys. It's really hard for everyone, and holidays for me are especially harder too, because that's when you compare a lot more than normally, because you're seeing all these people buy all these things and decorate and all this stuff, and you're like, I can't afford that, or I can't get that, and it starts making you question your life and why you don't have certain things. And I will say, like, focus on like what I've said. Focus on what you can control. And just because you don't have these materialistic things doesn't mean that you don't have a great life. There are points in our life where we can afford things and we are living great and we have everything we want. And then there comes times of challenges where maybe we're struggling a little bit financially and we can't afford the things that we want to afford. And it's sacrificing, right? Sometimes you have to make these sacrifices in order to get ahead, in order to go through these different waves in your life, right? Sometimes, like I said, you're at a high. Sometimes you have everything going for you, and sometimes you don't, and you have to make these sacrifices. Right now with us, we were hoping we were going to go back for Christmas, but it is a big, cost on our end. We have to buy tickets, we have to rent a car, we have to get all these things. And right now with everything else we have going on, it's a lot. And so sometimes we have to make these sacrifices in order for us to get ahead. And when you make sacrifices, there's a lot of guilt in there sometimes, and of why you can't get things, or why you can't help family or get things maybe for your kid or be there for your family. And a lot of guilt builds up, and it makes you feel really fucking shitty. But one of the things I listened to in a podcast yesterday was like, guilt will eat you alive if you let it. You have to let go of the guilt and realize that there's a season for everything, and there's a reason why you're going through that season right now. And so instead of feeling guilty and instead of feeling sorry, go through those challenges, embrace it, do what you have to do so that you don't have to go through that again, right? So like right now with for example, my situation, there's a lot of guilt that I'm not going home for Christmas, because I've always said I wanted to spend Christmas with Kylie. I didn't want to not be there for her. But I know that I have to stay back right now and focus on this project that we're launching in order to be successful, and in order to have better Christmases with Kylie, in order to give her more of my time in the future. So right now I have to make these sacrifices, and thankfully I have family and friends that understand that the sacrifices I'm making are going to be worth it, right? So it's difficult, I know, when people don't understand the sacrifices that you're making and question your sacrifices. That's a little bit more difficult, but as long as you know why you're making those sacrifices, that's all that matters. But during the holidays, it's tough for everyone, guys. And I want to say, like, literally everything you see right now on social media, take it with a grain of salt. Don't give into these feelings of comparison. Don't give into these feelings of guilt, of why not me? Why don't I have this? And just focus on what you do have. Show more gratitude for the things that you do have, the good things that have come out of this year, health, your family, the people you have by your side. Focus on them, don't focus on the people you've lost, like friends that you've lost. And I don't mean like lost, like died. I meant like maybe they're not in your life. They no longer serve a purpose. Focus instead on the people you have in your life by your side, why they're there. Give them your love, and don't focus so much on the things you can't control, especially right now going into the end of the year. We only have a few weeks left. End this year strong. End this year with the one thing maybe you didn't get the chance to accomplish, but maybe start that. Whether that is like, okay, you didn't lose the weight, but end this year with like, okay, I'm gonna at least fucking cut out soda or whatever till the end of the year. Let me just promise myself that. Let me end the year on a positive note. Maybe I didn't work out as much as I wanted to this year, but you know what? For the next 3 weeks, I'm gonna walk every day. I'm gonna walk 20 minutes every fucking day, and that way I can end my year strong. Maybe you haven't drank water this year, like drink the water. Maybe you haven't read. Wake up every day for the next 2 weeks and read 10 pages, maybe 5 pages. If all you can read is 5 pages, or end your night with 5 pages, no matter how tired you are, get that book from your nightstand, put it on the side, and read 5 pages every night before you go to bed. Do something that's gonna make you proud of yourself. Instead of focusing on all the things you don't have, all the materialistic things right now that are happening, focus on making yourself better and ending the year as a stronger, better version of yourself. I know that that's what I'm doing today. First thing in the morning, I listened to my audiobook, took notes, because guys, it's been really hard for me to read this past few months. I haven't really made time for it, haven't had the energy for it, but I've been really wanting to focus on being a better leader and a better person. And in order to become that, I need to learn. The only way I'm going to grow is if I'm learning and I'm trying to make myself better, right? So reading, listening to podcasts, things like that is what's going to help me, is the best way that I feel like I can grow and learn and help myself, and in return help others. So that's the way that I'm focusing on right now for the rest of the year and bringing in the new year. I'm just really excited because I do feel like 2024 is going to be a great fucking year for so many different reasons, and I want you to claim that energy. Even if you didn't have the best year for 2023, claim that energy. Make 2024 the best fucking year possible. Even in the beginning of the year, make it the best. Set the intentions that you want. And, let's kill it all together. All I want is for the group of women that I have in my life, the people that support me, to grow. If I can help you in any way, then I'm going to help you in any way. Whatever I learn, I'm going to share it with you, girls. So as long as you're supporting me, I got you, and I'm going to help you as much as I can. And I'm going to end today's segment with, I need you to support me with one more thing, and I can't share it anymore, but the hubby's going to be sharing it, and the hubby's going to be sharing it on his platform, and Brittany's going to be sharing it on his platform, and I'm going to be able to share it in about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, but until then, the launch is happening, so I want you to support this. So go to Chris's page, be on the lookout. I don't expect you to follow him, but I don't expect you guys to follow him because he doesn't. Regardless, he never posts. But if you're listening to this Thursday, December 14th, he will be posting the announcement today. So just share it with the people that you love. Share it on your profiles. Share this big project with as many people as you can, so we can get the word out. And I'm so excited because I'm really wanting this to really make a difference in the world and make a change. So it's for you guys. It's for everyone I'm representing. And it's true when they say that when you do something you love, it's not work. I love doing this. This new project makes me extremely happy because I'm not looking at it as, like it's for me or monetary. I'm looking at it's a way to gather everyone who needs to be represented in this, what's the word I'm looking for? In this space, in this area. So I'm really, really fucking excited. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really wanted to just update you guys and give you guys my thought process on, my life so far, and not try to hide anything from you guys, because the podcast, you guys know that I share the most with you girls, because you guys, I feel like if you actually take the fucking time out of your day to listen to me, it's because you care about what I have to say. So I appreciate you so much. So you guys are the first to know, even though somehow some of you already in my DMs saying, hey, I saw that you moved, let's do this. I'm like, how the fuck do y'all know I moved? But I try to be subtle. But hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode. I hope you guys take everything I said and stop comparing yourself to other people, and then just really show gratitude for what you have and who you are. So anyways, I'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
I'm not gonna be there for you. 'Cause you were never there for me. Don't go ask me what to do. Ignorant.